Hello there, this is Ron Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Stop focusing on bottom feeders. Hey, look, you know what? This is a big problem I see with a bunch of guys. A bunch of guys who call themselves, they supposed to be like top notch, but you worry so much about like what women I look at as bottom feeders. You know, if we use the octane model from Master Teacher BGS, 85 octanes, you worried about what some ratchet women is doing. I mean, you got whole Facebook groups. People be doing like long hangouts, talking about a bunch of women I could care less about. Let me throw an example, because, you know, some people were talking about that whole Jason Pope thing lately. And, you know, I didn't address it because, one, that always happens in the hood. That ain't no new shit. They ain't no new fucking shit, man. I'm surprised more people don't hear about it. You hear stuff like that. That's why you don't mess with bottom feeder women. That's why you don't fuck with 85 octanes. Because you don't know what the fuck you gonna get. And when I hear guys who supposedly they saying, yeah, we got all this money. We got the money to travel and all of that. So why are you worried about them? Shit. To me, that just exposes them. I'm like, well, I don't really care. I can't build with that type of woman. You know, and guys call themselves educated and all of that, but I'm like, okay, there's actually more educated women going across all races in this society. If you are an educated person, you got a college degree, why don't you mess with them? You know? Since, like, I started college in 1983, you know? I started college in 1983, and since then, the percentage of women I dated who had a college degree is probably, out of all the women I dated, had sex with, whatever, even some who rejected me, we talking like about 95% of them. You know, it takes a lot for me to mess with a woman who don't have that. And I ain't gonna say I wouldn't, but, you know, she better show a whole lot of intelligence and class. But when you talk about like the bottom feeders, though, I'm like, are you kidding me? I could care less what they do. That's a different world, man. See, here's the thing with it. Here's the problem with it. If you one of those guys worried about, well, these women having babies with Pookie and Ray Ray and all of that and all this bull, I'm like, dude, why aren't you focusing on dealing with the higher class women, ones who got something, who trying to do something with their lives, you know? Well, first of all, maybe not even focus on them. Focus on moving out the neighborhood where you dealing with all of them. That's the first thing you need to be doing. You need to be getting up out of there. If that's what you seeing all the time and dealing with, you need to move. You need to move. I mean, because I'm like, if I'm around that, if I had to be around that for like a minute, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. Let me start doing something. Seriously, guys like going crazy over him. Like, seriously, it's just like, dude, I don't care talking about how they behaving and everything. I'm like, yeah, that's how they behave. Do you know to stay away from it? I shouldn't have to tell some intelligent men or even bring that up to stay away from them. Focus on those top tier women. Okay, so where they gonna be at? Now they probably won't be hanging in the hoods. It's find where the bookstores are. Find where the art galleries are. Find where the health clubs are. A lot of women you get some of these health clubs, shoot, you go to an aerobics class, shoot. Across races, you know? They be taking those classes, be in the gyms, everything. But deep down, I'm going to tell you why. People focus on their own levels. You shouldn't even be able to they shouldn't even come across your radar, really. Because if they the ones that's popping up on your radar, not only you need to be thinking in terms of, all right, why am I in this environment to begin with, but in terms of why they even popping up. Those type of women, invisible to a brother like me. They invisible, seriously. Only time I see them, they have to literally like jump in front of me. They have to jump in front of me and like get my attention because I look right through them. And I don't understand why a bunch of guys who hold themselves up as this, that, and the third don't do the same thing. Seriously, and if you got a problem and you say, well, you know what, I'm dealing with these American women and they this and that. Passport. I know there was some recent hoo-ha about the passport thing, but I ain't saying anything. I've dealt with plenty of women from overseas. Shit, regardless of race, you got white women overseas, black women, Latino, Asian women, and just regular women. They're just going for like any sex tourism or something. Some people jump on that part, but it's that you can still go over there, learn the language, learn to live in the culture. That's how you handle that. You find out about the culture. Like whenever I dealt with women from other places, and I ain't really had to even travel because growing up in the D.C. area, everything's right there. But one of the things I would do, I just started talking to them about their culture and stuff. And I was just trying to find out some little nuances. It's like I mentioned a while ago when I was down in Puerto Rico, and that's not outside this country, but I was like, I wanted to go to the bad parts of San Juan. I was like, oh, that's the terrible part? Boom. In fact, I didn't even spend that much time in San Juan because I was with some friends down there, and they were taking me to the countryside, small like places you don't see on the tourist brochures. Go some of those places, they got bars up on everything. But it's just a matter of saying, look, I want better for myself. And that's the thing. You want to think in terms of yourself. You focusing on the bottom feeders, but it's like, wait, man, you supposed to be on some level. So why don't you sit back, some of these guys sit back and say, hold up, this is what I deserve. I deserve a top-notch woman. And don't give a fuck about everybody else. You focusing on that. So this woman she got to look a certain way. She got to have a level of class. Those two things are important. Because that's how a lot of dudes get caught up. Because a lot of times they checking out the bottom feeder because the bottom feeder got a fat ass. Let's just keep it 100. Let's just keep it 100. Got that project pussy. Yeah, they got those tight ass things on. That's why you even looking at them. Because the classy women going to cover up a little bit more, be a little bit more modest, but trust me, they get down too. All you had to do is just be the type of guy who got his shit together. So, stop focusing on that. Seriously. That's all I got to say on that. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and blessing.